Here I have an advertisement by Diogo Montecarlo. It was created to raise awareness about domestic abuse. It reads, "You have your mother's eyes above a portrait of a boy with a bean face, as you can see." It's a very simple design, yet it had the power to go viral within just days of its release. It reached hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world, and there was countless feedback from people of every country commenting on how moved and emotionally impacted they were by this simple photo. You see, in the absence of intricate detail and elaborate physical manufacturing, often a more raw or real connection is built between the artist and the observer. The naked idea is exposed and revealed for its intent without the confines and manipulation of disguise and distraction. It remains in a more unaltered state to allow the audience to infer what it means rather than be told what it means. The ability for receptivity is widened to accustom a larger diversity of people, of backgrounds. The message becomes more universal and the risk of disillusion and misperception is lessened. Simplexity is the dynamic working relationship between simplicity and complexity. It is used to help describe and explain both the concrete and abstract occurrences present in all of our everyday lives and the consequences and benefits of their integration. It applies basic human biological emotion, instincts, intuition, and thought processes to explain evolved, advanced, and modern conflicts and conceptual phenomenons. You can think of it almost like a magic trick. There is always an illusion of a higher power, a greater good, that seems too unreal or too superhuman to comprehend or create. Whether you are trying to evoke a specific multidimensional emotional response or action, like our advertisement, or understand the meaning of life, there is no need to overthink your desired strategy or trick to achieve your goal. You just need to familiarize yourself with the basics. The key to understanding complex problems is the ability to break down the equation into workable parts, much like a math problem. You can't understand or begin to think you could dissect theoretical physics until after you've learned and mastered beginning algebra, and before that your times tables. In such a complex world, we often have a tendency to immediately gravitate toward complication when presented and confronted with complication. In the pursuit of happiness, of health, of fulfillment, we find ourselves overwhelmed by all the seemingly perfect answers available for us. We turn to advanced technology, the latest and greatest inventions, and abstract theories to cure our biggest problems, when, in reality, the burden of complication often prohibits progression rather than ignite it. In our hunt to prove our progression or validate our intelligence, we can be obscured to the simplicity of nature. A couple years ago, I was enrolled in a world history class. We spent some time learning about monks, the Tibetan monks in particular, and having never really been familiar with them as a people or a culture before, I quickly became extremely fascinated with their lifestyle. I checked out every book I could to learn more about them, and I read about them online. And through my personal research, I learned that their lives revolved around a concept known as minimalism. This is the art of achieving more with less. One aspect of this lifestyle that really stood out to me was taking a daily walk. This supposedly helped clear the mind, boost contentment, and improve health. And it seemed so simple and so easy. That I decided to start incorporating a daily walk into my everyday schedule. As opposed to their 1-hour walk, I decided to go along with a 20-minute walk every day instead as a sort of compromise. And within days, however, I was surprised at how different I felt. I experienced a lifted mood, more energy, and I felt less stress. When I went to research the science behind walking, I found many studies to back up my findings. Statistics, like the one shown here, show that by just walking once a day, one can greatly reduce health risks such as diabetes, depression, heart disease, and obesity, some by almost 40%. Yet the answers we often turn to, and the answers we are often given, for example in this situation regarding one's health, include extreme measures such as crazy fad diets, countless pills, vigorous exercise, and even surgery. Growing and living in such a rapidly paced society, we often are eager to assume that the most technologically advanced or convoluted creation is the correct answer, that that's what's best for us. And yes, sometimes we do need the complication, we need the depth, but enlarge the picture too much, dive into the details too long, and we lose sight of the initial matter. Thank you.